Hello everybody, my name is Desiree from Evolve Yoga and Fitness in Leesburg, Florida. Today I'm going to take you through a seated gentle class. It'll only be about 30 minutes long. I welcome you to add in any extra props that you might need, maybe a towel or a blanket. I'm sitting on mine right now. And maybe you might have some blocks at home or even just some pillows for your couch that you might use. You may or may not need them, but just kind of have some of those things nearby just in case you might find that you need it. One thing I might also suggest, if you have any essential oil, you can always start your class with a little bit of essential oil. I love doing this, just placing just a little bit in my palms, rubbing it together and breathing it in through the nose and out your mouth. I like to place mine on my skin. I would just suggest that you check the labels of any of the essential oil that you're using before you do that. And then I'll invite you to place your palms either face down on your knees if you're needing a little bit of grounding today. Maybe your thoughts are just really going wild in your mind today, or maybe you're needing a little bit of energy today. You have a lot to do. You can always place your palms facing up. So just find what feels comfortable to you. Close your eyes, and I just want you to notice what your body feels like, what your breath feels like, and maybe really taking note of what is going on in your mind right now. No need to control the breath quite yet. We're just simply noticing what we're feeling. I'll invite you to take a cleansing breath with me, taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling up, and send it out your mouth. Again, deep breath in through the nose and out your mouth. From here, you can go back to any breath that works for you. You can continue breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. Or maybe you prefer to do Ujjayi pranayama, breathing in through your nose and out your nose. You're always welcome to take that as well. The one thing that I do suggest in a gentle class is that I really do want you to continue to stay focused on that breath, even if it's just matching the inhale to the exhale. Sometimes people will take a 3 count or as many of a count as you'd like in and out. This just helps us to stay present in the practice. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed throughout this. I will do my best to guide you verbally, but if you need to open your eyes at any time to see what I'm doing, you're always welcome to do so. We're just going to start by stretching out the neck a little bit, warming up, dropping your chin to your chest, feeling the stretch go down the back of your neck. I do ask that if you've had any injuries or if you're feeling any pain, to please opt out. Just really listen to your body throughout any yoga class that you're taking. You are your best guide. And you'll lift your gaze towards the ceiling. Once again, dropping the chin to the chest. And then one more time, lifting the gaze towards the ceiling. And then coming back to neutral gaze. Continue to warm up the neck, dropping your head towards your right shoulder. You might be going opposite of me, or you can mirror me, whatever works best for you. Just feeling the stretch go down the side of your neck this time. Then we can add in a little extra movement, rounding your chin across your chest and taking your head to the other side, and just pause there. And rounding the chin across your chest. Continue moving in the same motion, maybe taking 3 to 5 rounds. Just make sure that you're matching one side to the other. And then when you're ready, you'll meet me back in a neutral position, gazes forward. From here, we'll take a side body stretch. We're gonna plant the right palm next to your seat, lifting the left arm up into the air, really elongate towards the ceiling, and then on your exhale, stretch over towards the right side. If this is uncomfortable, this is where you might use a block. You can always place the block underneath your hand, or you don't need to use it, whatever works best for you. With each inhale, you lengthen a little bit, and each exhale, you go just a little deeper into the stretch, maybe tiptoeing your fingertips out just a little bit. Just be sure to keep both sits bones connected to the mat. And then we'll inhale, rise up and take it to the other side, this time planting the left palm on the mat and right arm lifts towards the ceiling, lengthen and exhale, stretching over towards the left side. Your gaze could be forward or it could be lifted towards the ceiling. Just try to match what you did on side one. Inhale, rise up, and let's do it one more time, taking it over to the other side. Inhale, rise up, exhale, plant the palm and stretch to the left. And then we'll come back up to center. From here, taking your hands, going into some seated cat-cows. I'd like to make little tents with my fingertips on my knees. In order to do cat-cow on a seated position, you're just gonna press your belly forward and lift your gaze for cow. And then on your exhale, round the spine, rounding your chin to your chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Take 3 to 5 more rounds, as slow as you'd like. And then when you're ready, you'll meet me back in a neutral seated position. Remember, always come back to your breath. Just notice what it's feeling, what you're feeling like, matching the inhales to the exhales. From here, we'll take it to a seated twist. You're gonna take your left hand over to your right knee, and then your right hand extends back behind you. Inhale, lengthen up towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, gaze either towards your right side wall or maybe even behind you. With each inhale, you lengthen, each exhale, you twist. One more time, inhale and exhale, twist. On your next inhale, unravel and take it to the other side. This time your right hand comes to your left knee, left hand extends behind you, placing the palm on the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. One more time, inhale, exhale, twist. And then we'll unravel, placing your palms back on your legs. We're gonna extend the legs out straight, kind of at a wide leg stretch here. Going as far as you'd like. I'm gonna back up just a little bit here. Okay. So we're gonna do 3 different things here. We'll hold each for about 30 seconds. Remember, if you need to come out of any poses, please do so at any time. Just come out nice and slow. We're gonna take our arms, lift them up over the head. Inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Bringing your hands to the mat, or maybe this is a spot where you could use a block. You can always place it under your palms, even bringing your forehead to the blocks. Find what works for you. Really breathe your way into the stretch. You should be feeling this in your hamstrings. If you need to bend your knees at all to make it more comfortable, do so. On your inhale, slowly rise back up. We're gonna pivot towards the right foot. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold over top of your right leg. Maybe you grab your calf, maybe it's your ankle, whatever it is that you need to grab in order to make this more comfortable. And just let your head hang heavy. Maybe it comes to your knee or your shin, or maybe just try gazing forward towards your toes. Next inhale, rise back up, and this time we'll pivot towards the left leg. Inhale, lengthen towards the ceiling, and exhale, fold forward. Try to match what you did on side one. You might find that one side feels a little tighter than the other, and that's perfectly normal and fine. Slowly rise back up, planting the palms in front of you. We're going to curl up to a tabletop position. So however you need to get there, maybe bringing your knees back up to a seated, just curling over to tabletop. This is a spot where I definitely like to use a blanket or a towel. Just folding it enough to where I can place it underneath my knees, giving myself just a little bit more comfort here. So we're going to take just a basic tabletop position, stacking your shoulders over top of your wrists and your hips stack over top of your knees. If you are to look back through your legs, you should see that your feet just kind of disappear behind your knees. On your inhale, cow pose. We did this earlier. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Continue moving in the same motion, maybe adding some hip circles or some shoulder dips. Really find what works best for your body. Sometimes you find when I'm doing this, I find that there's just one particular spot that just really feels good, and I just kind of hold it for a couple of seconds. Do what feels good to you. We'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. And then once you've matched both sides, meet me back in neutral tabletop. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit here. You'll take your right leg and send it towards the back of the mat. Right foot is at the back of the mat. Toes pressed into the mat. Your heel is pressing back towards the wall behind you. Get in the camera just a little bit better. There we go. You should feel the stretch going down your hamstrings and even into your calf. You have the option to just stay here in stillness, or maybe try adding a little rocking sensation back and forth. And we'll come back to stillness. You're going to sweep your right toes across to the left side of the mat and then gaze over your left shoulder, pressing your heel back, just feeling the stretch in a little different way. And then we'll come back to neutral, bringing your right knee back to meet the left, and we'll take it to the other side. This time the left foot extends to the back of the mat, toes are pressed into the mat, and you press your heel to the back wall, or whatever might happen to be behind you. Again, stay in stillness, just notice what it feels like, and if you added in motion on side one, go ahead and add it here on side two. And then you'll come back to stillness, this time sweeping your toes over towards the right side of the mat, pressing your heel back and your gaze over your right shoulder towards your toes. And then we'll come back to center, back to neutral tabletop, maybe taking some extra cat-cows here, if it feels comfortable. Back towards the center of my mat so you can see me just a little bit better. So this next pose, it's called Thread the Needle. It can be a little bit awkward, but it feels really good on the shoulders. We're going to take the right arm, lift it up towards the ceiling. I'm going to turn this way so you can see this side a little bit better. Lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, you thread the needle, bringing the right arm underneath the left. Your right shoulder connects to the mat, and your right temple will connect with the mat. You can keep your left hand right where it is, or maybe try extending it out in front of you, or even option to take that arm and take a bind behind your back. You're taking your fingers and kind of placing it into the crease of your hip. We'll hold this for about 3 to 5 breaths. Again, it can be a little bit awkward, but as long as it's just an awkward feeling, you're fine. If you're feeling any pain, then just slowly come out. You always have the option to keep your eyes closed. Try to let go of whatever might be happening in the house, all the craziness in the world, shutting out all the news. And if you took that bind, you'll unwind, just bringing your left hand back by your face. We'll press up and inhale the right arm back up towards the ceiling, and exhale, release the right hand back down to the mat. So we're going to take it to the other side. I'm going to move just so you can see it. You can stay right where you're at. This time you're going to take your left arm, lift it up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, thread the needle underneath your right arm. This time it's your left shoulder and left temple that connect to the mat. And do what you did on side one. If you extended your arm, do so here. Or if you took the bind, take it here as well. And remember just to keep breathing. If you took the bind, go ahead and release, taking your hand next to your face, and then inhaling the left arm reaches back up towards the ceiling, and exhale, release it back down to the mat. All right, from here we will take our first child's pose. You're going to take your knees to the outside edges of the mat. Big toes come together to touch, and you send your hips back towards your heels. If this is a little too much, some people like to use a block underneath, or some people like to take another blanket or pillow and place it behind them. Find what works for you. You slowly come down onto your forearms and you rest your forehead on the mat, or maybe even taking the block and letting your forehead rest on the block. You'll be here for about 2 minutes, so I really just want you to let your body melt into this pose. Child's pose is known as a pose where it's just like being a child, where you can kind of let go and be free without any cares in the world. The option to stay right here, or option to add in a little side body stretch. I'm going to walk my hands over towards the right side of the mat. I'm actually taking them off the mat. Left palm comes on top of the right palm, and then just sit back down. This will give you a side body stretch. You should really feel a good stretch going all the way down the left side of your body, starting from, I can feel it in my arm, going all the way back down towards my hips. And then we'll walk the hands back to center and take them over to the left side this time. This time your right palm will come on top of the left, and once again sit back down, letting your forehead fall back to the mat. Slowly walk your hands back to center. We're going to come back up to a tabletop position. And from here, you're just going to sweep your legs out to the side and come to sitting back down on your mat. I'm going to face the mirror. You guys can be facing the top of your mat. So we're just going to do a couple more stretches before we get to our final Shavasana. So we're going to go into a forward fold. Inhale your arms up towards the ceiling, really reach and extend, and then fold forward. Maybe you grab your calves, your ankles, maybe you can reach down and grab your feet, and then just let your head hang heavy. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here, flex your toes back towards your face. Flexing the toes you'll really feel a difference in your stretch when you add that. Just stay right there. On your next inhale, slowly rise up. And you're, with core control, slowly lower all the way down onto your mat. If you need to remove the blanket from underneath you, you can. Or if you just want to spread it out so that you have something to lay on, you're always welcome to. I'm going to take mine and take it to the back of the mat and use it as a little neck rest for later on. Slowly coming all the way down onto your back. Good morning stretch, reaching your arms up overhead like you're being pulled in both directions. And then you can hug your knees into your chest. Maybe try rocking side to side, just giving your lower back a little massage. And then you come back to stillness. We're going to take happy baby pose. In order to do happy baby, you bring your feet up towards the ceiling like you're walking on the ceiling. Reach in between your legs, and some people grab the inside of their feet, or I tend to like to grab the outside of my feet. I'm just using my hands to pull my feet and my knees down around my rib cage, just going down towards the floor. You have the option to stay here, option to add a little movement, rocking side to side, or maybe even extending one leg and then the other. And then you'll hug your knees back into your chest. This time maybe taking your knees and just circling them out to the outer edges, outer walls. And then you can go in the opposite direction. And then one more time, hug your knees into your chest. So we're going to extend the right leg all the way down onto the mat, getting ready for supine twist. Hug your knees tight into your chest as you can, maybe even bringing it more towards your armpit. Inhale. And then on your exhale, guide the left knee over to the right side. Your arms can come out like a letter T. You gaze in the opposite direction of your leg. So I'm going to send my gaze over towards the left side. Now I like to take my hand and just use my right hand to gently pull my left knee down a little closer to the mat. Maybe give it a try, just see what it feels like. I'm going to try to keep both shoulders connected to the mat when you do this. If it lifts up a little bit, that's okay. And then inhale, back to center, hugging your knees back into your chest. And we'll do that on the other side. So this time you'll extend your left leg all the way down onto the mat as you hug your right knee into your chest, squeezing it more closer towards your armpit. Inhale. And then on your exhale, guide the right knee over towards the left side this time. Gazing in the opposite direction. This time my gaze is to the right. And this time I'm using my left hand to just gently pull the right knee down closer towards the floor. Both shoulders are connected to the mat. And then come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. We'll do one final thing. Legs up the wall. So without the wall, you're just going to send your legs up towards the ceiling, flexing your toes back down towards your face. Option to stay here, option to take it to sleeping tiger by bringing your arms up, just like your legs are. Both are pointing towards the ceiling. We'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. And then from here, we'll slowly bring the feet back down to the mat. And we're going to take it down to Shavasana, completely letting our legs open up wide, letting the arms open up wide, taking up as much space as you can. You want to take that blanket from behind you and just use it as a neck pillow, you can. If you have eye pillows that you've brought with you, you're welcome to use those eye pillows. Make yourself comfortable. Here, I'm going to ask you to stay right where you're at. I highly suggest that you stay in your Shavasana for at least 5 minutes, maybe even more. Just let your body completely melt all the way down into the mat. Think about the crown of your head just completely melting down into the mat. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our eyebrows. Release all tension from your eyebrows and your jaw. Maybe try opening your mouth just slightly and dropping the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Take it all the way down to your neck, your shoulders. Just let your shoulders meld into the mat. All the way down your chest, your belly, into your hips. All the way down your thighs and quads. Down your knees, your calves, your ankles, and finally all the way down into your toes. Just completely melt into the mat, letting all stress release with it. Again, stay here in the Shavasana for as long as you'd like, but I am going to end here, and I'd like to end with a word that we always share in yoga. It just means that the love and the light in me honors and respects the love and the light in each and every single one of you. From my heart to yours, namaste.